Tina Turner was often seen as a symbol of absolute strength, a woman with a powerful voice, explosive stage energy, and seemingly unbreakable determination. But behind this public image stood a person whose life was far more complex. Especially her collaboration with her first husband, Ike Turner, was not only a private relationship, but also a musical force that shaped American music history. When Tina Turner was still called Anna Mae Bullock, hardly anyone would have expected that she would one day become one of the most famous singers in the world. She grew up in rural Tennessee under simple conditions, surrounded by hard work, insecurity, and family tensions. Her parents separated for some time, and Tina felt emotionally abandoned from an early age. This experience deeply shaped her character. She developed a strong survival instinct and, at the same time, a deep need for recognition. Music became a kind of escape from reality for her. Even as a young girl, she loved rhythm and blues and listened enthusiastically to the radio. Afro-American musicians of that era impressed her greatly. It was not fame itself that fascinated her most. It was the energy of the music. The meeting with Ike Turner changed her life completely. At that time, Ike was already a respected figure in the American rhythm and blues scene. Today, many people mainly remember the darker sides of his personality, but musically, he was undoubtedly an exceptionally talented musician, and interestingly, Ike Turner was often ahead of his time, both technically and musically. He understood studio work, arrangements, and rhythm structures extremely well. Musicians described him as highly controlling, ambitious, and perfectionistic. These same qualities made him successful, but also very difficult to work with. One evening, the young Anna Mae Bullock spontaneously took the microphone and sang. Ike immediately recognized her potential. Her voice was raw, powerful, and emotional, completely different from the polished pop voices of that era. He began to build her career carefully. Only later did she receive the stage name Tina Turner. What many people do not realize is how demanding the work inside the Ike and Tina Turner Revue really was. The public usually saw only the explosive stage shows, the glittering dresses, and the energetic performances. Behind the scenes, however, enormous pressure existed. The band rehearsed excessively. Timing, dance movements, and musical transitions had to be absolutely precise. At that time, Tina Turner worked almost non-stop. Tours, nightclubs, television appearances, and long bus rides determined her daily life. Musically, Ike and Tina complemented each other in a remarkable way. Ike brought structure, rhythm, and control. Tina, on the other hand, brought raw energy and emotional intensity. This combination made their performances unique. Many later rock bands adopted elements of their stage presence. An often overlooked point is how modern their shows appeared at the time. The dynamic dancers, the aggressive rhythm section, the loud guitar work, and Tina's intense movements seemed almost revolutionary for that era. Especially in Europe, people recognized early how extraordinary this band truly was. Famous British musicians were also impressed. Members of the Rolling Stones carefully observed Tina Turner. Mick Jagger in particular studied her movements and stage energy very closely. Later, some people claimed that Tina had been inspired by Jagger, but in reality, the influence also went in the opposite direction. Another interesting fact is that Tina Turner did not have full control over her career for a long time. Many business decisions were made by Ike Turner. Proud Mary became especially important for Tina Turner. The slow introduction and the later explosion of energy matched her stage personality perfectly. Many audience members felt that the tension physically grew inside the room. Behind the musical success, however, the private situation became increasingly worse. Ike Turner developed serious drug problems, especially with cocaine. His behavior became more unpredictable and aggressive. Tina increasingly lived in fear. It is important, however, to view the situation in a differentiated way. Tina did not stay only because of dependency. She was trapped inside a complex system of psychological control, financial insecurity, public pressure, and professional obligation. What is especially remarkable is that Tina Turner later started again almost without money. When she left Ike, she took very few material possessions with her. Instead, she fought to keep her stage name. That is exactly why her later comeback was so extraordinary. With the album Private Dancer, she achieved something very rare in the music industry, a complete restart on a global level. Songs like What's Love Got to Do With It finally turned her into a worldwide superstar. Interestingly, Tina herself initially had doubts about some of these songs. Some titles sounded too pop-oriented to her and too far away from her original style. Privately, Tina Turner remained surprisingly modest. Many people expected a glamorous diva, but people close to her described her as disciplined, friendly, and sometimes even shy. She loved simple rituals, good food, and quiet evenings. Switzerland played a very important role in her later life. At Lake Zurich, she found something she had rarely experienced in America: peace. Later in life, serious health problems appeared: high blood pressure, strokes, kidney disease, and cancer. Many fans noticed little of this for a long time because Tina kept her illnesses largely private. Her later husband, Erwin Bach, supported her intensely. One especially moving moment was his decision to donate one of his kidneys to her. This relationship was fundamentally different from her first marriage. Tina described it as calm, safe, and built on trust. As she grew older, Tina Turner developed an almost philosophical attitude toward fame and success. She seemed to understand that constant applause alone cannot create inner peace. When she died on 24th May 2023 in Küsnacht, people lost more than just a singer. For many, Tina Turner represented the idea that a person can rebuild life despite violence, loss, and enormous pressure.